The Pink Pulpits Podcast, the gospel according to her. The Pink Pulpits Podcast explores the living, learning, and leading of women in the 21st century. How does the modern woman handle the world the gospel way? This podcast is for women in ministry, women surrounded by ministry, and so many more. Join us weekly on Saturdays at 6 p.m. for the Pink Pulpits Podcast, the gospel according to her.
Testing 1, 2. No, seriously. Hey, welcome back to the Pink Pulpit Podcast, the gospel according to her. Now, this is for women, by women who want real life change in their pulpit of life. And whether that's the pulpit of the marketplace, ministry, mentoring, or those of you that have just said, I want more. I'm your girl. That's right, the faith chick. And I'm the one that God has assigned, I really do believe, to help you believe beyond, to break limits, and to walk in the boldly better that God has established for you. And today, yes, we are going there. I know you're saying to yourself, where is there? We're going to talk about some major truths that I believe that we're going to talk through what I break through faith that breaks through barriers. I just want you to understand that I am the faith chick, the one that's going to help expand your faith and your knowledge of it. But today we're going to talk about breakthrough faith that breaks through barriers. Let me just set the stage for you. Hebrews 11:30 says, by faith, the walls of Jericho, y'all remember those walls, fell down after they had been encircled for 7 days. Now, I don't know about you, but I've had some Jericho moments in my life. And you may be sitting there saying, now, what is Jericho? You may say, I'm not the chick that really knows the Bible like that. Jericho was this fortified city that the children of Israel had come to, and it was like this barrier that was between them and the promise that God had for them. Where the promises were right there, they couldn't see, and they needed to see because there was a wall in the way. And it wasn't that they didn't believe, and it wasn't that they didn't pray. And it wasn't that I needed or they needed a faith breakthrough to get on the other side. Now, I'm talking to you there that are listening to the podcast or watching this podcast, and you're saying, I'm having a Jericho moment right now. It's not that I don't believe. It's not that I'm not praying. I just need faith to break through to get to the other side. So today, I've come to have this conversation to tell the walls in your life, and I want you to say it with me, that they aren't going to stay up forever. And before we're done today, you're going to know exactly how to walk through to get to the other side and make the walls in your life fall down flat. That's what the walls of Jericho, when they walked around that seventh time and made the declaration, the wall fell. So today, we're going to walk through, I believe, 4 powerful ways that will change how you deal with barriers. And I'm going to give you, the word, but I'm going to give you practical steps. I'm going to give you the how-to. I'm going to show you how do you defeat that thing that's standing between you and the promise, between you and what you know you're supposed to have, between you and what you have been going after, your goal, the faith posture that you're standing in. Can we talk about it today? Okay. So have you identified the wall? Before you walk around it, before you talk about it, identify the wall. Joshua 6:16 says, shout, for the Lord has given you the city. Before Joshua, because that's the one that was leading the children of Israel, took a single step, they knew exactly what was standing in the way. Jericho, this massive fortified wall, was standing in the way. And can we really talk for just a few seconds about that wall? That you can't break it until you know what it is so you can confront it. Whatever's standing between you and what you're supposed to have. And some of us have been circling issues we refuse to name. We've been circling people that we refuse to call out. Maybe it's your wall of fear. Maybe it's that financial limitation. Maybe it's a generational mindset that says nobody in my family has ever done this before. I need for you to identify what is that Jericho wall? What is that force? What is that barrier? And I want you to name it and put it in your prayer wall this week. Stop making it mystical. Stop pretending it's not there, but identify it so you can defeat it. Identify it so you can tell it cannot stand between you and what your promise has established for you. And can we do this today? Let's do this week. I want you to write down 3 specific things standing between you and what God promised you, standing between you and your goal, standing between you and that thing you're supposed to be doing. And declare that it is going to fall down. Declare that it is going to no longer be a limitation or a block. Whether it be fear, lack, whatever it is, decide it will not be a barrier anymore. Once you can name your wall, you're not circling in confusion anymore. You're circling it with an intention. You're going to fall flat. You are coming down, down, down. You're coming down. And intention is what moves you to the next step. Sometimes we don't intend, and so we end up not getting anywhere. You got to intend, you coming down. Just like David did with the giant. Y'all remember? He said, the same God that delivered me is going to deliver me from this uncircumcised Philistine. And then he tells it, I'm going to cut your head off and I'm going to feed you. I'm going to feed your carcass to the birds. And that's what you got to decide. I am getting ready to cut the head off of this barrier. I'm going to cut the head off of fear. I'm going to cut the head off of whatever it may be that's standing between me and what I know I'm supposed to have. And then a lot of us are facing the walls because of disobedience. You hear me talk about it over and over and over again, but I believe we don't understand that obedience really is a battle strategy. Micah 2:13 says, the one who breaks open will come up before them. They will break out, pass through the gate, and go out by it. Their king will pass before them with the Lord at their head. And can I say this? Walls don't fall because we wish them down. They fall because we follow God's instruction exactly, even when those instructions seem unusual. Walking around a fortified wall, a wall that could not be penetrated for seven times, 7 days, blowing trumpets. Does that sound like a real strategy? Does that really sound like this is going to make something happen? But it was God's strategy. And some of us are leaning and getting our own strategy versus getting a strategy from God. If you know you have not been able to get through this barrier, if you know you haven't been able to get through this situation, ask God for a strategy. How do I get the resources? How do I get approved? How do I get my next level certification? How do I get that promotion? Ask God for the strategy and then obey it. When you obey God in faith, your actions have what we have an actual heaven blueprint for your breakthrough. Delayed obedience is just still disobedience. Partial obedience gives partial victory. You got to decide you're going to lean all the way in, put your chips all the way in, and I'm getting ready to totally obey what God said. It's like identifying that one thing that God has already told you to do that you've been putting off. Can I talk to myself right now? If it's sowing a seed, having a conversation, making a move, there are 3 things that I can identify right now in this moment as I'm teaching this, as I'm saying this, as I'm having this podcast, I am talking to myself. I want you to identify it and without delay, do it today. Can you just say that? Without delay, I'm going to do it today. You got to see obedience isn't just moving, it's you moving in sync with the one who's already gone before you and prepared the way. And when you start moving like that, heaven responds. Promotions happen, doors unlock. You get moved to a new position. You see the wall coming down. And then you got to recognize that obedience is my battle strategy, but then praise is a weapon. It's not a warm up, but it really is a weapon. Second Samuel, it says it right here in 5:20. The Lord has broken through my enemies before me like the breakthrough of water. And Joshua, can we just talk about understanding his army didn't shout after the wall fell, they shouted before it fell. You've got to decide that praise is my weapon. And I'm on praise in the, y'all know my song, in the middle of it. Their praise wasn't a reaction to the victory. And some of us wait, we're going to praise after the victory. We're going to shout after it's that. We're going to shout. But it was a sound that brought the victory forth. Your shouting is the precursor. Your shouting is the prequel, if you will, to what you see in the future, what you see happening on the canvas of God's promise concerning your life. Praise says, I believe it's already done. Praise says, I believe it's already mine. Even when I'm still staring at the wall, even when I'm still staring at the barrier, even when I'm sitting in what seems like God has me stuck, you shout, and your shout can break what your strength never could. Your shout shakes the very foundation of that thing and causes what was under it, keeping it standing tall, to start to cause it to unravel and fall flat. So for the next 7 days, take 5 minutes every morning to praise God and shout with the voice of triumph for something you're still waiting on, for something that you're still praying for. Let the sound of your praise be louder than the size of your wall. As big as that situation, as big as a barrier, I want you to shout louder. I want you to praise louder. I want you to make your neighbors say to themselves, what in the world is going on over there? What is that girl doing over there? Because here's the truth. The sound of your victory is already in your mouth. You just have to let it out. You just got to say it. We shout for everything. We shout at the ball game. We shout at the graduation. We shout at weddings. We shout at all these other places, but we don't shout in advance. We don't shout because we already know. We don't shout because he already said. I want you to get he already said shout on the inside and declare right now, this is the weapon that I've been given, and I'm going to shout and I'm going to let it all out and I'm going to watch that barrier fall. And then I need you to hear this. That barrier has an expiration date in the presence of faith. Your faith gives it the expiration date. The other day, y'all know the girl don't cook. I know. Y'all saying the chick don't cook. No, the girl don't cook. And stop talking to me about cooking, please. I'm grubbing with the greens. Y'all should have see that. I know you saw it, whatever, you're watching it. But let me say this. I looked at my refrigerator and I was looking to make myself a bowl of cereal. Yes, I love cereal. I love Captain Crunch with the Crunch Berries. Any Crunch Berry folks out there? Where you at? Where you at? Or I love Fruit Loops. I know. Or my final is Frosted Flakes. I don't like the regular ones you got to put sugar on. I like the Frosted Flakes. They come already pre-done because, yeah, we'll talk about that another day. And when I went in to get the milk that has been in there that I thought, hey, I got milk. I went in and there was an expiration date. And a lot of us are operating and looking at a situation, think it's going to be there forever. And what I want you to know is like the milk that was in my refrigerator. It's got an expiration date. Hebrews 11:30 says, by faith, the walls of Jericho fell down after they had been encircled for 7 days. Walls don't last forever. Barriers don't last forever. When faith is present, expiration must happen. Jericho's wall didn't need decades to crumble. They needed one appointed moment when faith collided with God's timing. And that's what I'm saying. That diagnosis, it expires. That debt, it expires. That opposition, it expires. That's right. Whatever it is, put it and say expiration date. Whatever the expiration date you need it to be, put that date down. If it's today, put the date down. If it's August 31st, put the date down. If you say, I need this thing to end before the end of the year, put it down. For y'all, tell me, y'all say, no, I need it to end before you get done with this podcast. Then put down the date today and then put the time. I need you to understand, write the phrase expired in the presence of faith. Somewhere you'll see it every day. And every time you look at it, declare, this wall will not outlast my faith. I just said something. This wall, this barrier, this thing will not outlast my faith. My faith is going to give you an expiration date and you are going to expire. You're going to fall. You're going to crumble. You're coming down. You are going to be like what David did when he threw that rock and hit the giant Goliath in the middle of his head. It hit him and he fell down flat. Can you say this? Faith doesn't just outlast the wall. It pushes it out and tells it your time is up. And that's what I need you to do. I need your faith to say your time is up. Your time has come to, can y'all just say that right now? Expired. When I took that milk out, y'all, the girl was upset. The girl was upset. I had my mouth all fixed for my cereal. And that's what I'm saying. Fix your mouth for the victory. Get the taste bud on the inside of your tongue and say, I taste victory. I taste the promise. I taste the wall falling flat. And watch what your faith does. It causes that thing to totally come down. I need for you to seal this thing and recognize that it's going to take breakthrough faith. Hear me. There is no wall in your life higher than the God and that is stronger than your faith. Not one. And if you say, Lady Nicole, my faith ain't really there like it needs to be, then let's get our faith up. It's time, everybody talking about getting your money up, bossing up, getting your business up. Let's get our faith up. And once you get your faith up, all that other stuff will get up. Your life will get up. Your money will get up. Your business will get up. Breakthrough will happen. New contracts and new things are operating will manifest because you done got it up. So can we do this today? I need you to identify the wall before you keep walking around the wall. Realize that your battle strategy is obedience. I'm going to ask God for the strategy that I'm getting ready to do exactly what he said. I'm going to go step by step. Every little step I take, I'm going to watch God do what he promised me. And then realize praise is the weapon. Don't warm up. Don't waste time of praise after it's over with. No, I'm praising in advance. Praise him in it. No, okay, y'all don't want me singing today. Then recognize this barrier got an expiration date. If I bring my breakthrough faith to the forefront, if I bring my breakthrough faith to the top of this thing, it's got to expire. It's got to fall down. And stop. Watch this. You are not sitting there continuously looking at the barrier. You ain't surviving nothing. You are a barrier breaker. And as the faith check me, I'm here to remind you, you're going to break this barrier. The fight is fixed, and your faith is the deciding factor. Remember, we're walking through our 7-day devotional, right? And this is the next day. This is the 5th day of it. And I need you to understand that you have to have breakthrough faith. As we fought the good fight, the wall getting ready to come up. And you got to make a decision. No. You expiration date, put it down and say, you're going to expire on this date. You don't get to stand between me and my goal. You don't get to stand between me and my next level. And I need you to post, faith breaks barriers. I want you to also post hashtag faith barrier breaker. And then put hashtag me. And declare one wall that you're believing that's going to fall this week. I want you to tag me so I can stand in prayer and praise with you. Remember, I'm an advanced praiser. The girl advanced praises. You understand me? Matter of fact, just put your hands up now and say, I'm a barrier breaker. Break the barrier, people. Break it. And you've got to make a decision. I break barriers. I don't stand in front of them. I don't let them defy me. I don't let them talk back to me. I cause my faith to break every barrier, to break every wall. You may be saying in this moment, Lady Nicole, I just feel like I've been looking at this wall for a minute. And it just seemed like I done tried everything. Try this. Try what I just said. Try something else. I just said it ain't because you ain't prayed. It ain't because you ain't believed. What I'm telling you right now is you got to get your faith up. And one of the ways you do it is getting coached by me. Yeah. And it's time out for you going at this thing alone. It's time for you to get the faith coach herself to coach you. Whatever that barrier is, let me teach you. Let me come alongside. Let me coach you and get your faith up so that you can go to a whole nother level. That's right. Go to the faithchickcode.org today. Give that thing an expiration date and then say, Lady Nicole, this is the expiration date. I need my faith up to break this barrier by this date. Now, let me say this. Let's be real. Now, if your faith down here and you need to be all the way up here for what you're dealing with, you need to give your girl a minute. Now, I'm a beast, but you need a minute. But I guarantee you that faith comes by hearing and hearing by the word of God. So we keep living in it. We keep being taught it. Keep getting coached into it. Yo, that barrier got to break. That barrier got to fall. That barrier has to go down. I'm telling you today, we're going to break it. So join me. That's right, get coached by your girl. And I can either coach you within my group. I got a group of people I'm coaching. Or for you to say, no, what I'm dealing with, I need a one-on-one situation. Then I need you to come and be coached by me. Thefaithchickcode.org. Y'all, I'm telling you, it's time for you to have breakthrough faith. And then those of you, tag, share, and tell your girlfriend about this one. This one I know, because I know life is lifing, and a lot of you feel like this wall feel like it ain't never gonna fall. The children of Israel probably felt the same way. That fifth time around, they look like, nah, they ain't talking. And this is a huge wall, everybody. A huge city. And what I want you to recognize is that it was a wall that was trying to keep them out. And that's what the enemy tried to do. He just trying to keep you out. And you said, no longer will I be kept out. And I want you to subscribe. Go to Pink Pulpits Podcast. Subscribe today. And make sure you hit so you know every time we go on. And let me say this to you. You are a barrier breaker. And God has given you the power. All you got to do is level up in your faith and have breakthrough faith. So, this has been the Pink Pulpit Podcast. You feel like you're ready to break some stuff? Break up them walls. Break up what's trying to keep you from getting access to what you know belongs to you. Today's your day. Put an expiration date. And I'll see you next time. Remember, life is a gift. Make the best of yours and break down some barriers this week. I'll see you next time.